U.S. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi is in Taiwan despite threats from Beijing of serious consequences, becoming the highest-ranking American official to visit the self-ruled island claimed by China in 25 years. Pelosi's visit has also triggered increased tensions between China and the U.S. as China claims Taiwan as part of its territory to be annexed by force if necessary and views visits by the foreign government officials as recognition of the island's sovereignty.
Taiwan is getting battle ready. And Chinese warplanes are already hovering the maiden line, the informal divide line in the Taiwan state between the Chinese mainland and Taiwan. The tension between two nations were always palpable, but spiked multifold with the US active interaction with Taiwan, which is a self-ruled country but claimed by China as its breakaway part. And now, as US House Speaker visits the island nation, China has made it clear that Beijing will not take it lightly.
我们密切关注佩洛西的行程，如果美方一意孤行，中方必将采取坚决有力的措施，维护中方的主权安全利益。
Nancy landed at Taipei airport to the warm welcome of both the Taiwanese officials and people. And the US House Speaker instantly issued a statement assuring support to Taiwan's vibrant democracy. Pelosi, the third highest-ranking official in the US government, is the first senior American official to visit Taiwan in 25 years.
We have been clear from the very beginning that she will make her own decisions and that Congress is an independent branch of government. Our Constitution embeds a separation of powers. This is well known to the PRC, given our more than 4 decades of diplomatic relations. The Speaker has the right to visit Taiwan, and the Speaker of the House has visited Taiwan before without incident, as have many members of Congress, including this year.
Though the White House has touted the Pelosi visit as personal with no official statement on the same, it is also not bowing down to the Chinese threats. But the daggers are out. Taiwan confirmed that 21 Chinese jets entered the country's defense zone after Pelosi flights touched down, adding that multi-government websites were under cyber attack, with many going offline for more than 20 minutes. While the PLA released a propaganda video just ahead her visit to Taiwan, China closed Taiwan Strait for civilians' aircraft just after Nancy Pelosi's arrival. As tensions escalate over the Pelosi visit, who is set to meet Taiwan's president and speaker today, it needs to be seen if this show of strength by China is just a hollow threat or it will transform into something serious, which may be detrimental to the already distressed global peace. Bureau Report, Republic TV.
And Jason Lee continues to be live with us from Taiwan. Jason, if you could talk to us more about how does the world view Taiwan's sovereignty at this point. We understand that China, as we were talking about, believes in that one China policy, but how does the world, particularly the US, views Taiwan's sovereignty?
The U.S. government likes to be vague about this issue because they don't want to upset Beijing. The U.S. general public views Taiwan as a sovereign nation.
And if you could also talk to us about how the other nations other than the US view Taiwan's sovereignty. We understand that Russia has already made it quite clear that it is on side of China. But what about other states, other countries as well?
I believe the Western world and most of Asia recognizes Taiwan or the Republic of China as a sovereign state. But of course, there's still varied opinions. It's not everybody in the Western world sees it that way. And there's a good number of people who view Taiwan as a part of China's territory and that it should be one nation. But that's an opinion, you know.
Yes. Yes. Also, Jason, there have been, so many warnings that have been issued by China in the past few days. What sort of if you could help us read into it with China making it clear that US will face serious repercussions, what sort of repercussions is China really talking about when we talk about the situation we've seen in the last couple of days?
Towards the United States, I'm not sure, but we'll definitely see some movement from their Navy and their Air Force. But they're not being very clear about what the repercussions for the United States are. I would assume that they would make no movement towards the U.S. military while Nancy Pelosi is here in Taiwan. But yeah, as far as like economics, it's doubtful because both economies are highly dependent on each other. So we will have to see.
Yes, Jason, stay with us. We'll come back to you in just a bit. Here's a report as the tensions between the US and China escalate over US House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's visit to Taiwan. It remains to be seen what stand does the global peers take. So far, while Germany and Japan have backed the US to defend Taiwan, Russia has announced support for China.
As US House Speaker Nancy Pelosi began her controversial visit to Taiwan, more than 20 Chinese military planes flew into Taiwan's air defense zone on Tuesday. Pelosi's landing in Taiwan came amid stark warnings and threats from China. China announced that the US and Taiwan must bear the consequences, while announcing targeted military actions in response to Pelosi's visit. However, the US too resounded its complete support to Taiwan against China. While the current scenario seems to have drifted the relations between the two superpowers to a state of turbulency.
So you may have seen that we put a statement out as I think 26 senators put a statement out supporting the trip. And the reason we put that statement out is that this is something that we as elected officials do on a regular basis, and at the end of the day, you do not want the Chinese Communist Party dictating to senior American leaders where they can and cannot travel.
Germany's foreign minister responded to China's aggression, warning it against the escalated tension and voicing support to Taiwan. Similarly, Japan also stepped forward to safeguard the island nation's independence. Dozens of US Air Force fighter jets were lifted from bases in Japan to Taiwan amid consequences of a possible escalation. However, Russia called Pelosi's visit a provocation and openly backed China in its act thereon.
Прежде всего, я хотела бы приветствовать начало реализации достигнутых 22 июня в Стамбуле так называемых продовольственных договоренностей. Вчера, как вы знаете, 1 августа из порта Одессы вышло первое судно под флагом Сьерра-Леоне, груженное кукурузой. Оно взяло курс на Ливан. Мы рассчитываем, что Киев выполнит свои обязательства по обеспечению безопасности судов в черноморских портах и территориальных водах Украины.
The military exercises from both sides have now given rise to soaring tensions between the world's two superpowers, US and China. Agency Report, Republic TV.
So a lot of global, in fact, a lot of reactions, global reactions as well coming in as we speak. Russia has backed, of course, China, but several other countries of the West have backed US when it comes to taking a stand on the visit of Nancy Pelosi to Taiwan. In fact, more news that is just coming in that China has decided to halt natural sand exports to Taiwan region from Wednesday starting today. That's a report that's China's CGTN, that's quoting Ministry of Commerce of China. So Chinese media giving this update that China will halt natural sand exports to Taiwan region from Wednesday.